What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. Today we are doing just a quick video on our Icon toolbox. We have the new light inside the hutch. Is it worth it? We're gonna check it out, kind of show you guys a little bit about it today. All right, so here is our brand new Icon toolbox. Had this probably about a week or two now, and we do have our Power Stroke badge here. Because if you guys remember on the other video that I made, we did end up having a dent that came with this toolbox right from brand new. So they gave me a discount on the bottom box. I ended up knocking that out with my bodywork tools. And then I ordered this badge online. It's kind of the predecessor to the 6.7 badge that's on my 2022, but it does definitely cover that and it looks absolutely awesome on the toolbox. So that's all taken care of. The box looks exactly the way I want it to, but we did do something. This is something I wish I would have ordered when I bought the box, is our lighting inside. As you can see, when you open up the hutch, everything turns on. It's absolutely awesome. There is a couple of little things that maybe they could improve on with it, but I am very happy with the results of everything. You can see our LED lights are underneath our hutch cover. So what happens is there's a little switch up there and a magnet that you stick inside this little arm just on the back side of it. Then when you pull it away from that little black sensor right there, it turns off. When it gets close to it, it turns on. Problem I have is this wire right here. I mean, this is your extension. So when the cover actually comes forward, it needs that slack because we have everything running through that upper port up there. It does need that wire so it can close. So, I mean, it just kind of is what it is. You open it up, it's hanging there. It's kind of a little bit unsightly. It would be nice if they had kind of like maybe a coil, maybe like a coiled up one that could extend, and then it would kind of sit up a little bit higher, maybe a little bit more neat. But we did install the sensor the way it says in the instructions. It has to be about an inch away from the magnet. And as you can see, it works really well. So now on the back side of the hutch, you can see we do have our control panel right here, a little controller box. It does have a magnet on it and our power button. We have our wire in the middle here for that magnetic switch. Then our power out to our light. It does come with this extension, which I'm gonna have to tie up here just kind of temporarily the way it is. But that goes up to our light, and then we do have our power source going inside to our power bar. Then over here we do have our power bar, which has magnets on the back. I put it on the inside just because I figured it would be easy to plug stuff in, but we do have our outlets on the front, so I don't know whether I really need to have this here or not. I may actually put this on the back of the cabinet just to kind of get it out of the way, but for now it's right there, and it was pretty easy to do. I just got one with a 15-foot cord just so I could reach over to my outlet. But just kind of figuring everything out with the box, and so far everything's working out really well. So while we're talking about the box, we might as well go through a little bit of a tour of what I've got in here so far. On the top here, I have in our big drawer all of my sockets, and yeah, it's worked out really awesome. There's a lot of weight in this drawer, and I know some people have said they pop out or whatever just by slamming it, and a lot of times they were empty at that time. Mine has never done that. I have no idea we're ever gonna have a problem with that. It seems pretty good to me. Go down here, we do have a bunch of extensions, ratchets, pry bars, all that kind of thing. Drawers close absolutely awesome. Over here, we have our pliers, vice grips, all that kind of thing. Down here, we have our bigger pry bars, bigger breaker bars, and all of that. Down here, we have metric wrenches, ratchet wrenches, flex heads, all of those type of things that we need to get into all those tight places. This is a standard drawer, it's not quite filled up yet. There's some other stuff needs to go in here as well. And then down here, I've got just some other miscellaneous things, bigger box stuff, and some tools, some electric tools, air regulator, and just some of the things that I wanted to have a little bit of a bigger drawer to store in. And then over here, we have just kind of the office. This is where I have the other badge that came with this one, and just some miscellaneous things, keys and whatnot. Over here, I have my scrapers, my veneer calipers, some scissors, and just some die grinder, attachment, wire wheel, easy outs, all the things that you need with that. Down here in the charge drawer, I do have my first aid kit in here as well because it's a pretty big drawer, and I usually only have my Milwaukee stuff charging anyways, so I have my 2 chargers here so I can do 2 batteries at once. Then down here we have all of our electric impacts and all of that, drills and some other tools down there below. Up here we have some nut and bolt kits. I've got my test light. I have some other electrical testing equipment. And then we also have our takeaway kits. Like this is my 1/4-inch snap-on, has all the sizes. You can just grab this and go to a job or whatever. And down here I have my snap-on Torx kit as well. Down here we got some Milwaukee stuff, angle drill, ratchets, punches, chisels, temp gun, just some nice package deal things we can take along with us, drill bits and bits for other things. We have all of our adjustables in here, chain wrench. And over here we got some interior tools, some little clip tools, and we do have our exhaust cutter. And then if you guys know what this guy is, this is actually for removing window cranks. Very, very nice. I actually got 2 of those. Somebody was nice enough to leave one in one of my cars when I had it at the body shop. Not entirely sure why they would have done that, being that that car had power windows, but anyways, there it is. Hose cutter, some brake tools, a little core tool, feeler blades, picks, brake tools, hood prop tools. You guys know with the bad gas shocks, you need one of those. And down here we got some electrical tape. We got our torch, we have our magnet, we have a center punch, we have mirror picks, all of that. We got some knives, some Allen keys. Down here we got our hammer drawer, we got some dead blow, we got a dead blow ball peen, which is very nice from Snap-on, brass hammer, just basically all your hammer needs. Down here I have some specialty wrenches, and I do have our little exhaust boot kind of the hangers. You can push the exhaust hangers out with this. It's a Blue Point, very nice tool to have. And then over here I have a specialty vice grip, which is actually for brake hoses. Very nice too, just block off that line without damaging it. Not sure if I'm going to leave this drawer the way it is just yet, because it does take up a lot of space for how little is in there. And then down here we got a couple more hammers and a coolant tester and some extra clips, but just kind of my first additions that I put in the box. Not entirely sure how everything's going to be in the future. We might change some things around, but for now, things have been working out really, really well, and I'm very happy with the result. Also, with this setup, you can get a top storage area. Being that this is my shop, I really don't need to lock anything up here. I have a bunch of oils, DEF. I have my hand cleaner, rags. I got my JBL speaker, which I absolutely love, Bluetooth. Pump the tunes while you're working on your stuff. I got my helmet up there, some extra diesel oil, and it's just a nice place to put your stuff. I imagine if you had the cabinet up there, it would look a little cleaner, but for me, this is gonna work out perfectly. Everything is where I need it to be, and it's a nice place to keep stuff out of the way. So another thing I did notice, you guys can see right here, I got a nice little ding on the back of the cabinet here on the hutch. Not really a big deal, but it was something that I did notice. I could have called them about that. They probably would have discounted the hutch as well, but they already discounted the bottom, and it's on the back. I'm not really worried about that. Also over here, there was a little spot. Actually, when they were loading this hutch onto, well, they had a little kind of a jig to put this onto, and they had the lid down. So the lid was taking some of the weight. They had it locked. They thought they had it locked. And there was a little hiccup here where the lid actually came open when it was on their lift. So this ended up kind of scratching the paint right there. You see there's a little bit of a ding and just kind of where the paint was, where the powder coat was taken off. But surprisingly enough, right here, we do have our Snap-on touch-up paint from my 2001 toolbox. So it's 2022. This is from 2001. This is some vintage Snap-on paint right there. And you can see the color's not exactly perfect. The Snap-on's a little more orangey, but if you're not really checking it out real close, you're not really gonna notice. It's a lot better than the bare metal that was there. But yeah, Snap-on gives you touch-up paint. Icon, they should definitely include it just in case you do run into any little issues like that and you're able to touch up your box. Just one of those things I would add to make this experience even better. So there it is, everybody. My Icon toolbox setup, just kind of where I put everything in the drawers and where everything's set up so far. And yes, I see my Snap-on clock right there. There is a difference. Yes, there's a difference in price by a lot. It was like $15,000 for the same setup from Snap-on. So you can get away with an Icon for much, much less. get everything where you need to be and do the exact same job. So in my opinion, this is an absolute bargain and it works exactly the way I want it to. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.